So welcome to the Hunter build beginner's guide. I was thinking about showcasing more than one build, but I think it's overwhelming enough for new players. So let's get started with a single build. We will just swap one item. Maybe one item will be differently from Hunter to Hunter, but anyways, let's get started. So we would pick up the leather cowl at the start of the match. We would get a morning star. Something like this. So the leather cowl gives us 10% lifesteal, 5% attack speed, 15 physical power, and 7 mana per second. And while you're within 55 units of an allied god, you gain 10% attack speed. If you're alone, you instead gain 5% movement speed. That is pretty great for the early game. So we have so if there's another ally close by, you get 10% movement speed, 10% attack speed, so 15 attack speed from leather cowl in total. If you're alone, then it's just 5 movement speed. The morning star, maybe a bit easier to see when. Yeah, move here is 10 physical power and 5 mana per second. And from the morning star we will build Transcendence, so morning star, judged morning star Transcendence. Transcendence is a stacking item for the physical power base, 300 mana and 10 mana per second. And the passive is you get 15 mana per stack and receive 5 stacks for god kill, 1 stack for minion kill. Up to a maximum of 50 stacks. 3% of your mana is converted to physical power. And at 50 stacks, this item evolves, gaining 10% cooldown reduction on top. Get a ton of raw physical power. It's for the most hunters, like 105, 107 physical power in the late game. The Transcendence works for the more ability damage focused hunters, just as it works for the more auto attack oriented hunters. That the more auto attack oriented hunters have attack speed buffs, self buffs. So they so they scale quite well from raw physical power as well. The next item is a lifesteal item, which also helps in lane boxing the enemy. It's the Arthi, gives you 25 physical power, 20 physical lifesteal, 20% physical lifesteal, 25% attack speed, and 15 physical flat penetration. And the passive, when you drop below 35% health, you get an additional 30% physical lifesteal for 5 seconds, which can trigger every 15 seconds. So when you're dealing with an assassin, this can maybe get you the edge and you win the fight, or also when you're fighting the enemy ADC, or doesn't matter, someone else, it can slightly give you the edge. And the Arthi passive also helps a lot in the late game when you somehow get chunked. You can regain hit points by auto attacking quite fast again. So the next item is the Wind Demon. This is a pretty amazing item when it comes to stats, overall stats. There's probably not. Yeah, there are probably not a lot of items that can rival this one. It's probably the best hunter item. You get 25 physical power, 20% attack speed, 20% 20% critical chance. And your critical hits provide you with 10% physical penetration, 15% attack speed increase, and 10% movement speed increase for 5 seconds. It's all, that's pretty much all the desirable stats you want on a hunter. Percentage physical penetration, crit chance, attack speed, physical power, and movement speed. It's all amazing stats on a hunter. Then the next item we grabbed is the Dominance. It gives 55 raw physical power, 200 mana. This is great for Transcendence, the 200 mana, since 3% of that will also straight convert it into physical power. And your basic attack, then it has 20 mana regen per second, 10% physical penetration, which is great, and your basic attacks benefit from an additional 15% physical penetration. So we have 10% here, 10% straight on the item, so 20% and 15% for basic attacks. So basic attack penetration will be around 35%. Ability penetration will be more around 20%. And yeah, and for the final item, we go Deathbringer. No, first of all, we will be hitting level 20 before we even build the Deathbringer. And then we upgrade our Leather Scowl into the Hunter Scowl, which gives us 60 physical power, 15 mana per second, 15% physical lifesteal, 20% attack speed, and the aura. It has, when you are close to allied gods, you get 25%, you get 25% attack speed aura. This means you also buff other gods with 25% attack speed, so the item gives a total of 45% attack speed. And if you're alone, you get 10% movement speed instead. And then the final item is the Deathbringer. The Deathbringer has also a ton of physical power, raw physical power, 25% critical chance, and you get your critical bonus damage. Also your critical damage gets increased by 30%. And yeah, then you're hitting for insanely high numbers. Probably with this build, click. Yeah, so this is basically your final build. And then you, I would say against tanks, you probably hit for 400 crit damage. And on squishies that have no physical defense, yeah, somewhere around 800-900 crit damage per auto attack, which is insane. So late game's all yours. I think with this hybrid approach to a build for hunters, the Transcendence in it, so the most, no, pretty much all hunters, the ability-based damage ones, and also the attack speed, auto attack oriented ones will benefit greatly. Both have damage ability, both categories. So the ability based on the more auto attack focused hunters have abilities that greatly increase from raw physical damage, and ability based hunters also auto attack. So they Yeah, it's sort of the best of both worlds as a new player and as a new hunter player in Smite to run a build like this. Yeah, relics, I would say it's pretty standard purification beads. And Jaeger's amulet. Purification beads to remove crowd control effects, and Aegis to go into stasis for 1.5 seconds, and yeah, so you can't be, so it won't take damage, but you're also unable to do anything. But yeah, that's pretty much my take on hunters for new players in Smite. I hope this helps because I've seen a lot of different and weird builds that do not make much sense. But yeah, that's pretty much. You have a lot of penetration. You have a little bit of flat pen, percentage pen, a lot of percentage pen, high amount of physical power. Also a lot of attack speed and yeah, and 45% critical strike chance. So yeah, so you're pretty much set even for the late game. Even on hunters that fall off in the late game, they can still dish out some good damage. And yeah, I hope this helps. And if you have any suggestions or questions, put it in the commentary below. And that's it. Goodbye.